Hi everyone, my name's Soph. I'm Soph Marsland. I'm going to be your unit coordinator this teaching period for this unit, Psychology of Personality. Welcome aboard. Now, for those of you who are new to Swinburne Online, welcome especially to you, but most of you have probably been here a while and get the gist of this online learning business. But I just want to tell you a couple of things about this unit that might be helpful at the start of the teaching period. So first of all, if you haven't had a chance to look through any of the learning materials or the About This Unit section just yet, just letting you know this Psychology of Personality is mostly taking a look at personality in the kind of normal range of things. So unlike perhaps you would have been used to in abnormal psychology or maybe even some of your other subjects, we're not going to look at things like borderline personality disorder or any of those other personality disorders, but rather take a kind of look at personality from a number of different perspectives. So we'll be looking at from the trait perspective, which many of you have probably thought about a little bit before, things like looking at the big five and so forth, but a whole range of other perspectives as well. So we're going to take a look at personality from evolutionary and biological point of view, from psychoanalytical point of view. You've all probably heard of Freud. We're going to have a look at him kind of historically and his theories and some of the newer stuff in that from that perspective. And then a whole bunch of other stuff, the self and kind of a narrative look at things, and personality from a cognitive, social cognitive or perspective like that. So we'll run through those various different things. It's a really exciting subject. There's some really cool readings and some great activities too. So I hope you all get very involved in the discussion boards. As most of you will know, in general, the more people tend to chip in, the better the learning goes. You learn kind of more deeply, and it's also just more fun for yourselves and for your ELAs as well to be really, contributing on that discussion board. So give it a really good shot. The other thing probably to have a quick chat about is the assessments, because everyone wants to think about those at the start. So there are a number of assessments in this unit, and it's been split up really well in my opinion actually. So the main kind of piece of work you're going to do throughout the teaching period is a large research report. So this will be broken up into two parts. So assessment 1A will look at the first half of a research report being the introduction and methods, and then part B we will be looking at the results and discussion. So it gives you a chance to kind of spread out your learning across the teaching period, and that's been a change in the way this subject's run, so I think it's a really good one actually. I'm not going to lie to you, it's not an easy assessment. Nothing really is once you're up to third year of an APAC accredited course. So like everything, it's, there's good bits about this subject, and there's some things that you'll find quite challenging. And for many people, the way this research is done is going to be super exciting because it's really heading you in a step into what it's like to be an independent researcher. So perhaps those who are thinking of going on to honours or into, further postgraduate studies will be really thrilled to have a good go at kind of independently working out hypotheses and working out some statistical analyses and so forth. And some of you might be feeling a little daunted about the idea that you've got to do that on your own. So of course we're going to support you all through the way, but it will be quite a lot up to you to get your head stuck into things. So I really recommend that right from week one you start having a look at the assessments and the readings that support your learning for those assessments, and we'll really kind of scaffold throughout the teaching period to build up your depth of knowledge on this particular subject, which is about personality and humour, which is pretty awesome, and you can also have a look at mood in there as well, which is optional. So I recommend you have a little check out of that. There is statistical analyses involved, and you'll be doing these yourselves. It's kind of independently working out what sort of analysis you want to be doing. So make sure you've got SPSS on your computer. Most of you have probably got it from earlier units. Either you may have just finished multivariate statistics in the last teaching period, or have perhaps had a little break since you've done that one, but either way, make sure you've got SPSS on your computer really in these first few days. I'd organise that. There's some videos and information in the unit about getting that organised. Some of you might love stats, which I do, which is, that's one of the things I love about psychology and, looking at it from a kind of scientific perspective. And some of you might not be so keen. Don't let that get you down. Put some of the really good learning that you've done throughout the 3 statistics units that you can put to work in this unit yourself. And we'll also give you a little bit of help. We're going to pop on a refresher kind of collaborate session. So just a quick rundown of some of the stats, particularly if it's been a little while since you've done one of those statistics units. So again, we'll be supporting you in your learning. What else have I got to say on my little notes here? I don't think I've got much else at all. There's no group work in this subject, which some of you might be happy with, some of you not quite so happy, but yeah, good and bad. And again, there's no essays, but there is the research report. Apart from that, there's a mid-unit test, which is made up of multiple choice questions and also a short essay. And then there's an end of unit exam, which is all multiple choice questions. And I recommend, once again, that you get going on your learning throughout the teaching period to help you build up those study skills and in preparation for that final exam. You do actually have to get at least 50% on your final exam to pass this unit, so keep that in mind. I think the final thing I've got to say is about collaborate sessions. Of course, we will be running one for each assessment. The three of us, there's 3 ELAs in this unit, including myself. There's Brenda, Roshane and myself. We'll all be running that collaborate session together, so we'll just have the one. And it's going to be pretty quick. I think we're going to have it in week 2. So it's either going to be on Wednesday the 11th or Friday the 13th. And I'm going to put out a little vote thing, so one of those little survey monkey things, I think, to get you all to vote on which date you prefer. So that'll be towards the end of week 2. And the reason we're having it so early is because your first assignment is due, I think, the Monday of week 5. So we're going to get cracking pretty early. So have a read of the materials. There's some assessment materials even in your first week's readings. And most of all, really enjoy it, participate, have fun, and get a whole lot out of this unit. All right, cheers guys. See you soon.